Hey guys, today for my May favorites for 2017. I have quite a few beauty favorites and a lot of random favorites as well, so I'm going to go ahead and get started because I have a feeling this is going to be a long video. So in my last month's favorites, I showed you guys Benefit Coralista because I had just hit pan on it that day, and this was the very first blush I had ever hit pan on. And since then, I've made a ton more progress, and I wanted to show you how much pan I have now. And this is what my Benefit Coralista currently looks like. Look how much pan there is. I probably have only used this like 5 or 6 more times since my last favorites, but because the pan was so shallow right around where I'd already hit pan, it was really easy to use up this much. This is so exciting and such an accomplishment for me to have been able to hit that much pan on a blush, especially because I have so many blushes. So I just wanted to show you my little update on that. And something else really exciting that I hit pan on this month is my very first highlighter. And the highlighter I hit pan on is the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in the shade Pearl. If you guys can see right here, I have hit substantial pan. And I've seen people hit pan on Becca highlighters really quickly, and I never could understand why, because they're so shimmery and really intense. You don't need a lot of product. But Becca highlighters are incredibly dusty and powdery. I just put my brush in there and there's just like poof of highlight. So these are probably really easy to go through. I definitely still feel very proud. It's totally still an accomplishment because I did use this almost every single day for the past 3 months as a highlight, which is how I hit pan on this. Pearl is a shade that I would really only recommend for very fair skin tones. If you are even a medium skin tone, I think you should probably mix it with something else. But I don't love this highlight, even though I'm incredibly fair and it should be perfect for me. It really just shows up on my skin. It looks like it's sitting on top, not like it's sinking in and being part of my skin. So I don't love the color, and I don't love the Becca formula, honestly. I don't feel like I really want to try any others except Moonstone. Seems like it would be a good shade, but I'm not in love with the Becca highlighter formula, nor this shade, but I am very happy to have hit pan on this. And this pairs really nicely with all of my pastel cheek products for the springtime. So I'll definitely continue using it, but once I use it up, definitely not going to repurchase it. So the rest of the products are like true favorite things I've been loving this month. And a lot of them are actually products in my current project pan, which is a Project 10 pan, all high-end products and viewer's choice roulette. If you guys have not seen my intro, I'll go ahead and link it up here. I should have an update coming very soon, but I did fall in love with a bunch of these products, and quite a few of them were a big surprise to me. The very first item is the Bare Minerals Bare Skin Sheer Sun Serum Bronzer. This is just a little deluxe size, and before this project I'd probably used it 3 times, and I had applied it with the e.l.f. Small Stipple Brush. It does work nicely that way, but this month I have been applying it with the Pure Cosmetics sponge, and I've just been using the round butt end that's like a regular beauty blender, and I am just putting a couple drops in the back of my hand, taking the damp sponge, picking it up, going right in the hollow of my cheeks and also right around my hairline. It looks flawless. I was afraid that the sponge would shear it out too much, but it doesn't. It just picks it up perfectly. It doesn't soak up a ton of product, so I definitely recommend using a sponge with this product over a brush. At least that's what worked best for me. And this color is great. It is warm tone, but it isn't orange, and it's also really light. So what I do is I apply my foundation, go over top with this, then I apply my setting powder, and then I apply a powder bronzer, and it looks beautiful. It isn't too crazy dark and pigmented for my skin tone, and a big reason for that definitely is because I'm powdering my face in between the steps of my liquid bronzer and my powder bronzer. If I went right over top of this with a powder bronzer, it would look way too intense and it wouldn't blend nicely. So this has been a super fun product. I am tempted to buy the full size, not sure if I will, but I love it. It is so beautiful, and I think it will be great for summertime, so I'm excited to continue using that. And let me know if you tried out that product or any other liquid bronzers, because now I'm intrigued. Another item from my project pan is actually this Sephora blush sample. This is their colorful blush in the shade number 5, Sweet on You. And this is what it looks like. As you can see, I've used up most of this. I haven't been using it for the past couple weeks because I wanted to be able to show it to you guys in my favorites video. I probably used it 10 times or so, and I still have products left, which is actually very impressive. This color is so beautiful, a really pretty pinky peachy coral, which you guys know is my favorite kind of shade. Even though this was a card sample, it was very pigmented. It blended really nicely. So I would definitely contemplate purchasing this blush in the full size. And the Sephora brand is not that expensive, especially compared to other high-end brands, but I was very, very impressed with this, and also the fact that it actually lasted me a pretty long time. So let me know if you've tried out any other shades of these Sephora blushes and what you would recommend, because I was really impressed with that formula. And then I actually have 3 different favorite eye looks of the month, which is really exciting. I love when I have a bunch of different eye look favorites. And the first look is what I'm wearing today. This is going to be the tutorial you guys see at the end of the month, and the star of the show here is the MAC True Chartreuse pigment. I just have a little sample of this pigment that I purchased years ago, and I don't know if I've ever even used it, but the website that I purchased my MAC pigment samples from is thebodyneeds.com. I just tried looking up that website, and that business is no longer around. The website doesn't even work anymore, so that's a huge bummer. Then I went on the MAC website. They don't even sell this pigment anymore. They sell a regular Chartreuse, which is shimmery, lighter, and a little bit more yellow than green, and it definitely is not a dupe of this one. So I did look around at some other websites. I did see some other websites that do sell MAC pigment samples, so I will do some research to make sure that they're reputable, and then I'll link whatever I can down below. I tried looking up dupes on Temptalia. She didn't have any, but maybe that's because this pigment was released such a long time ago. So I would try to find some dupes for this, but isn't this the most beautiful color ever? This is actually a really easy pigment to work with. I'm not sure if it's because it's matte or just the formula of this pigment, but when I pick it up with a brush, a dry brush, mind you, the product sticks together and applies on my eye really easily. I did not have a ton of fallout at all. And like I said, I applied it with a dry brush, which is really, really impressive to me. So I think the color and the quality of this pigment is absolutely incredible. And then for the eyeshadows that I paired that with, I was really lost at first. And in my monthly makeup basket, I asked you guys what colors I should try pairing with it, and a lot of you left me amazing, amazing suggestions, so I have to give credit to you guys for helping me figure out what shades to pair it with. But for my crease color, I used one of the shades from the theBalm Meet Matrimony palette, which I'm absolutely in love with. I use this shade right here, Matte Lopez, which is a beautiful mid-tone medium orangey brown without being too orange, too brown. This almost looks like a perfect clay color. And for my transition color, I used Anastasia Birkin, which is my favorite warm transition color ever. A really pretty light peachy tan. On some people this pulls a little bit more rosy, but on my skin tone, and of course pairing it with other warm shadows, it pulls more peach. So this eye look has been an absolute favorite. I also love the cheek and lip products, but I only wore them with this look, so you'll see all of that in the tutorial. And my second look was using some of my regular MAC eyeshadows. I love this MAC palette so much. So for this look, I wore Expensive Pink on my lid. Makeup Geek Cosmopolitan is a dupe of this. And I use MAC Free to Be as my transition color. And in my crease, I use Anastasia Bengal. This one is in the Tamana palette, but this is a shade that is sold individually. So I absolutely love that look. The formula of those eyeshadows pair really nice together. A really great warm eyeshadow look, but not using all neutrals. So I really love that. If you want to see those eyeshadows on me, I did wear that makeup look in my Project Use It Up update, which I'll have linked up here. And my last eyeshadow look is using some more Project Pan items. So something in my Project Pan is this Anastasia Tamana palette. I am using the shade Gilded on my lid and Bengal as my crease color. And with that look, I'm also using Anastasia Birkin as my transition color. I love the Anastasia eyeshadow formula. I think it is incredible. And her older palettes aren't as powdery as the newer ones like the Modern Renaissance, but I still love that one. I think those shadows pair really nicely together to give a beautiful, warm, bronzy look that I know is going to be a go-to this summer. I wore it several times this month when I was going to school and absolutely loved it. And then I have one lip favorite. This is the Buxom Full On Lip Cream in Creamsicle. I know I wore this in the video. I think maybe my monthly makeup basket for May. and my April favorites. I cannot quite remember, but I absolutely love this gloss. I think it is the most beautiful, beautiful pinky peachy coral color, which you guys know is one of my favorite kinds of lip shades. And I really love the Buxom gloss formula. The lip creams are a little bit more pigmented than the regular lip polishes, but they still have that really smooth feeling, that cooling feeling on the lips that I love. So I'm really glad I was able to get this during the Ultra 21 Days of Beauty because this color is so beautiful and I love the formula, and I did wear this on its own. And then I only have one nail polish favorite. Of course, I loved all the polishes that I used this month, but this was a standout and it's also a new polish to me. This is the Formula X polish in the shade Legendary. So disappointed that I really discovered Formula X when they were being discontinued. So if you guys are able to find any on the Sephora website or any in your Sephora stores, highly recommend you pick them up. I think they're on like super sale, like $2 now, which is incredible. I got my polishes back in December when they were $5 each, which is still a great price, but this color is so stunning, opaque in 2 coats. I really enjoy the formula of these polishes. They're cream finish, which is my favorite, and I will pop up my nail of the day picture. So those are all my beauty favorites. Now onto my random favorites. I actually have one clothing item and it is what I'm wearing today. It is really simple. It is just the American Eagle Soft and Sexy V-neck tee in the white color. And I typically wear large shirts, but I ordered 4 shirts from American Eagle and they were all in medium. And I would say maybe go a size down because this shirt is made to be kind of flowy and baggy. So if you buy one that's too big, it's gonna be a little too baggy, but this is super soft. I absolutely love how comfortable it is, and I don't own any white t-shirts, so I've been wearing this a lot. Then I have a couple of YouTube video favorites. Of course, one is from Lauren May Beauty. I feel like basically every month or every other month I'm mentioning one of Lauren's videos. So she had done a video that was YouTube 101, talking about all kinds of things about having a channel, how to be successful, and I really appreciated it, and I learned a lot of tips from her. And if you guys have noticed, over the past couple weeks, I've been doing a little bit different things with my thumbnails, having borders, different text. All of that is using one of the apps that Lauren suggested. So I've really got some great tips from her, and I would recommend you guys check out that video if you want to know a little bit more about YouTube, but specifically if you have a channel, I think it can be really helpful. And then I have one YouTube channel favorite that is not beauty related whatsoever. It is the channel John B. Christ, basically Christ without the H. And I had seen one of his videos floating around on Facebook. It was hilarious. Basically, his channel is all comedy satire about different Christian things, and it's hilarious. It is not to like poke fun at Christianity, but it is just really funny. My favorite ones that he's made is basically like Church Lady at Vegas, which is one that he just posted. And then basically he has one where it's like a church lady who has like a verse for everything. It was hilarious. I watched it so many times. So I'll have his channel and that one particularly funny video linked down below. I just think his channel is absolutely fantastic. Then I have a couple show favorites. First is Born This Way. I've talked about it before. It is a show about adults with Down syndrome. It is one of the best shows ever. I have absolutely fallen in love with everybody in the cast. My favorite people are definitely Rachel and Steven. They are my absolute favorite. I love them so much. And just a new season started recently. This isn't a new show. I think this is the 3rd season. So highly recommend you guys check out that show. I love it so freaking much. My next favorite is a Netflix original, 13 Reasons Why. You guys have all heard about it. I'm not sure if you guys have seen it or not. This is a show that I would not recommend for everyone. It is about a girl that kills herself, and there are 13 people that kind of influenced why she made that decision. And there are a bunch of cassette tapes with her talking about what happened to her, and they're going around to all these 13 people that were involved so they can know what happened to her and what they did to her. And it was so incredible, so incredible. I love the storyline so much. I have read that book a bazillion years ago. I think that it is a great show, but the last couple episodes, before the episodes, I do have a trigger warning letting you know that there is going to be rape and there is going to be suicide. You actually see when Hannah kills herself, not to spoil it, but just so you guys know if that is something that is really going to trigger you, do not watch it. But I do have to say that it's only those couple episodes that actually have trigger warnings. But at the beginning, those first handful of episodes, when I left that show, when I stopped watching it, I felt depressed. It made me feel sad watching that show because they did such a good job describing it and letting you know what Hannah was feeling. I felt it, which I think is incredible. I think that just shows how good of a job they did with the show, but I realize that can be something really hard for people to hold and people to handle, especially if you are struggling already. So I don't recommend it for everyone. I thought it was so good, so good. I cried a lot, and Clay is my favorite character, of course. But if you guys have watched it, please let me know your experience. I thought it was incredible, and then I heard from a lot of other people how upsetting and triggering it could be, and it really made me think about it differently. So I don't recommend it for everyone. I am very happy that Selena Gomez did not act in it and just produced it and was director or whatever, but I'm really glad she wasn't in it. I'm glad that they chose a bunch of actors that people didn't really know, because they were perfect. They perfectly exemplified the characters in the book. I was really, really happy with this show. Next, I have a Facebook page. If you guys watch Jen Loves Reviews, she has a Facebook group called What's Up in Makeup. I'll have a link for it down below. You do have to ask to join and then be approved. You're probably gonna be approved. I wouldn't worry about that at all. It is so fun. I haven't posted anything myself, but I have replied to a bunch of posts where people are asking, you know, what's your favorite drugstore highlighter? Have you tried this? What do you think? Are you guys tempted to buy this or that? It's really, really fun way to interact with other people, get other people's opinion, and to get some inspiration, maybe some ideas of things to add to your wish list. It's just really, really fun, and I check it every day. Then I have a couple songs. I will have music videos linked down below. The first one is I Spy by Kyle, and I loved that song on the radio, and then I tried to look it up on YouTube, and it's about getting high, and I could not find the radio edit anywhere. I only found the original, so I will keep trying to look for the radio edit because that's what I like, but all I found was the nasty song, the nasty version, so I will have that down below if I can't find the nice, clean, wholesome radio edit, but I was very bummed because it's a really catchy song. And then also Now or Never by Halsey, really good, and Cake by Flo Rida. So guys, that was my really long May favorites. I'm really happy with all the products that I fell in love with this month, and this is the last month I'll be using my spring products. Next month I will start using my summer makeup, which I'm really, really excited about. I had a fantastic time the past 3 months with my spring makeup items, but it'll be really cool to move on as well. I would love to know your thoughts if you tried out any of these products, and I would love to know what products were your favorites for this month. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys. Oh, I like getting high. No, I know, because that is so bad and nasty.